stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way.
Ladies and gentlemen, queens and kings of purpose, welcome to the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival 2025, where nearly 100 powerful minds, dreamers, doers, and defenders of humanity will be gathered at Taraba 2025. And I say to them, welcome to the spark before the wildfire and to the heartbeat of a legacy. Prince Homsuk Alex Jibrin is my name. I am the greatest grandson to the 23rd Longwo, third son to the Kanai of the Ko Chiefdom, and a true prince to the House of Mayamen. At Tarif, we will not only be telling stories, but we will be reviving the very soul of a people through film. In September 2025, Taraba will rise again as we invite you to experience, explore, and invest in the greatest epic film ever in the Kumbo Legacy Workshop. And this is where ancient tradition will meet with modern transformation. Because at Tarif, we shall be celebrating the strength, wisdom, and heritage of the greatest empire that has ever existed in West African history. And tomorrow, we shall immortalize it in art, film, and in fire. So storytellers, stand tall. The legacy is calling. Will you answer? Welcome to Tarif 2025. Let the revolution begin.
Good evening and welcome to today's Politics on Som TV. I am Abraham Maina Joda. Tonight, I will delve into a conversation that stares at the very heart of Taraba's future. That is faith, youth, and the future of Taraba, a dialogue on leadership, education, and nation building. Our guest is the man who wears many hats. He's an educationist, he's a seasoned administrator, and is the chairman of the Youth Wing of Christian Association of Nigeria here in Taraba State. For those who know him, they know him, but I'm going to do the introductions later. But let me take this quote. As the late Chino Achebe once said, the trouble with Nigeria is simply and squarely a failure of leadership. But the hope of Nigeria lies in a new generation of leaders grounded in faith, sharpened by education, and driven by vision. So, with wisdom and candor, we'll be exploring how the youths can move from the margins of politics to the center of nation building, and how faith and education can help to redefine leadership for a better tomorrow, to redefine education, to redefine nation building, and we will focus on those things that can make this nation and Taraba a better place. And just like I said, our guest is an educationist, a seasoned administrator, the chairman of the Youth Wing of the Christian Association of Nigeria. He is no other person than Mr. Job Julius Saleh. Good evening, sir.
Thank you. Good evening.
You're welcome to today's Politics on Som TV.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Okay. For those who know you and those who wants to know you. Who is Mr. Saleh?
Yeah, thank you once again for this opportunity. My name is Job Julius Saleh. I am a Taraban, and as you have lightly introduced, currently the chairman, Youth Wing, Christian Association of Nigeria, Taraba State Chapter. I double as a civil servant. I am a career civil servant, precisely with the Universal Basic Education Board, Taraba State. I am currently the Director ICT of the organization. And from a background, I am interested in education. I've gone far already. I had my NC, my first degree, I have my master's degree. I'm currently rounding up my doctoral program. This is what I can say for now.
Oh, that's great. And if on a lighter note, if this is how education needs to look like, I think I would love to be an education. You're looking like a superstar, looking dashing and looking quite handsome. What is the secret of this? How that makes you, anytime I see you, you're always looking. And even when he came in, someone said, wow, this man is looking great. What is the secret to that?
Thank you. The secret is God.
Okay.
And to human, contentment, of course. You get contentment with where you are, the level where God has placed you. And as a Christian, I believe this is what God wants. I take it like that. So I'm very satisfied. I'm very okay with this. And I'm enjoying it. To God be the glory. So that is simply the secret.
It's quite obvious that you're enjoying it because your smile is as wide as So you're an educationist. And you now serve as chairman of your weekend. I call you also a technocrat. So how will these different roles shape your outlook on leadership and service?
Yeah, in our contemporary world today, education is necessary. You cannot run away from education. Education is the only key to which one will explore his talent and God-given gifts. That is why I said I am interested in education and I have come to this level thus far. As it stands today, I don't think you can achieve in anything if you are not educated, especially in our country, Nigeria, where God has blessed us with intellectuals. For you to hold a position, for you to be able to lead well, for you to be able to think and reason well, you need education. So education is very necessary at this level.
Now, there's this argument over the difference between schooling and education. As an educationist, is it the same thing, schooling and education? Having a certificate, being certified, and truly being educated. What is the difference between these, and how do we marry the two?
Yeah, thank you. As the saying goes, many are schooled, but few are educated. That to tell you that there are gaps and differences between education and schooling. It is unfortunate that so many people nowadays understand education to mean schooling. And this is the miscarriage that is giving us troubles in our governance, in our leadership positions, in our community activities. To say you are educated is different from going to school. Now, if you have gone to school, you have gone to school to be educated. But we are in a situation today where people go to school in the name of getting the certificates, getting the paper for a particular self-interest. But if you are to be educated, it's for you to accumulate yourself, to equip to yourself with the knowledge and understanding on how you should be able to contribute in your industry, to contribute in your community, to contribute in your various ways of activities. And that is why today you will see if you have not gone to school and you are able to reason that education is what I have just mentioned, you will see that what we call illiterate is better than the person that goes to school. This is what we need to understand about education and going to school. We are in an era today where people like going to school to gain the certificate, maybe for a particular position. If you ask many people in the university, they will simply tell you, I want to do it and put it in my file for my promotion. That cycle of thinking is already an error. And that is why we fail in so many aspects of our leadership position and governance today. Therefore, if we say education, we mean the process and ability for you to equip yourself with whatever you need in order to contribute. If you say school, the word school is for you to just go for the sake of going, maybe for a record of attendance, for necessity of having certificates.
I think what you just said now is an eye-opener, because a lot of people go to school with for a selfish, well, for lack of a better, for a selfish reason. I want to get promoted. I want not really to go and learn and add value. And I believe that is why you see nowadays people go out of their way to ensure that they pass exams, because they just believe that passing an exam is the end is itself, not knowing that it's just a means to an end.
That's true.
Now, let me take you personally again. Many see you as a bridge between civil service, faith-based organization, and youth leadership. How do you balance these responsibilities without losing focus? Because, well, like we say, on easy lies the head. How do you balance this without losing focus?
Also, as it is always said, the reward for hard work is more work. It is only when you are able to be productive that you'll be qualified for an additional assignment. Today, I am the chairman of the Youth Wing Christian Association of Nigeria. Today, I am the director ICT in my place of work. Today, I have many responsibilities around aside this, both in the church and in the secular society. Now, the question is not about how do you put this to be productive. The question is the ability that you have that people see to add this responsibility to you. How will you now think and say, okay, since I have been seen with these qualities, what do I do to ensure that I am productive here, I'm productive here, and I'm productive here? As a witness, let me say that I'm finding it enjoyable.
Okay.
I don't have any regret holding these positions because to the best of my ability, I'm delivering well. Okay. It's just for you to be able to have what we call techniques for enhancing your delivery. Okay. For example, in the Youth Wing CAN, when I came in as the chairman, I sat down and bring out my blueprint. I brought out my blueprint to direct me in my activities. Okay. When I became the director in my office, I sat down and looked at my department, my responsibility, my roles. Yeah. And I designed my programs, my itinerary. For what? For, in fact, even sustainability strategies have been added to ensure that even if I'm not there today, that record will be there and will continue from there. That is why I told you earlier that when you are educated, not schooled, you'll be able to have these abilities. But if you only go to school, you cannot do anything about it. This is why we need people that are really educated. It is because of the miscarriage of education that today you see people in leadership position that fails woefully. You will see somebody doing bad, and you cannot convince that person because that person has already clothed him or herself with a particular understanding. So it's always difficult for you to remove that kind of ideology in that kind of person. But like I said, the few that understand, that is why we try our best. Like you ask, how are you achieving in this? How are you achieving in this? These are the secrets. It's just for you to be focused. It's just for you to sit down and design your schedules and activities, and you'll be able to achieve. It's very simple. It's very simple.
The way you're saying it, you're making it look like it's as simple as ABC. But well, if that is what education brings to the table. Now, what a lot of people will ask, we have CAN, Christian Association of Nigeria. Then you have your weekend, that is the youth wing of the Christian Association of Nigeria. What exactly is the role of your weekend and also your role as chairman?
Yeah, thank you. Your weekend is a wing under the Christian Association of Nigeria. The Christian Association of Nigeria is a national body that brings Christians from different denominations, nations over, to achieve a particular goal. And the primary goal of this Christian Association of Nigeria is the unity of Christians. That is why our motto says that they all may be one. That is the focus. Now, the wing of the youth, and we also have the wing of the women. In the wisdom of the CAN, these wings are established to ease the work of this association. Because we have the women, we have the youth. Of course, you know, in a society, youth play a very vital role in a society. Therefore, by the time we have a wing and its leadership, it will help the CAN to easily permutate and run the activities of CAN. What concerns youth will be handled by the youth wing. What concerns women will be handled by the women wing. This is the wisdom. And I am telling you, this is what is helping to smooth the journey of the CAN. Of course, it doesn't go without challenges, without hurdles.
Wow, definitely.
They are there. But like I always said, your ability to overcome those hurdles and challenges makes you who you are. Those ability, those strategies, those techniques you apply to ensure that you are productive makes you a good leader in this. So we have an ESCO committee for the youth wing. We have that of the women wing. Now, as the chairman of the youth wing, of course, I have my ESCO of different departments. The Interfaith Ecumenical and Interfaith Affairs, Department of Mobilization, Department of Planning and Strategies, and other departments like that. So we have directors. And when it comes to ecumenical and interfaith affairs, where we need combined service, where we need to bring churches together to understand, all we are trying to do is to ensure unity in our diversity. It is unfortunate, I'm sorry to say, that so many of us understood CAN today to be unity in uniformity. We are talking of unity in our diversity.
Let's take that again. I would like that.
I should be able to see you. I'm a Catholic, for example.
Okay.
If you are from Methodist, for example, I should be able to see you as my brother, so long as we bear the name Christians. It is unfortunate now, if I have opportunity, I will start thinking of my Catholic brother. That is unity in uniformity. We believe we are Christians.
Yeah.
But I still have that selfish interest. In Christ, like the Bible says, there's no Jew or Greek. All of us are one in Christ. That is the unity in diversity. That is why we have blocks in the CAN. We have the Tekan Ekwa, the Catholic block, the OAIC, and other blocks like this. Now, all we are saying, your mode of worship brings you together as a block. Now, the CAN brings you together all in the name of Christians, so that in unity, in your diversity, you still walk as a body of Christ. That is why I want to even use this opportunity to say that for those of us Christians that understand CAN to be unity in uniformity is an error. We should be able to unite even in our various diversity. That is the focus of the CAN.
Wow, I think I love that analysis you've done there on unity, not in uniformity, but in diversity.
Sure.
Wow, that is great. Now, looking at it, taking it out of the church, how can faith-based organizations like your weekend contribute meaningfully to peace building, which is very important in the society now, and social cohesion in a diverse state like Nigeria, and a diverse country like Nigeria?
Yeah, nation building is a dimension of government. And you said taking it out of faith a little. Let me say this, that for a state like Taraba, the government is an integral part of CAN. In other words, if today as Christian Association of Nigeria, for example, we say we don't need the government and we will work on our own, I think that's an error. And vice versa. If the government will say we don't need CAN, we can work on our own, in a state like Taraba, it's still not workable. Therefore, for us to come together to ensure development and nation building is supposed to be our priority as government and CAN. Now, in Taraba State, for example, even though there are so many injuries already around, especially in the CAN, before I came on board, there were mixed feelings about CAN being a kind of a part, CAN being a part of sales boys, you understand, to the government. That understanding is there. And like I said, we are not disputing these facts. There are so many errors around. But our ability now to try to curtail or mitigate what is already on ground makes us what we are. And that is exactly what we are doing today. Therefore, let me come back to your question now. For us to be able to have good governance has to do with beautiful economy. It has to do with solid education. It has to do with proper healthcare services. It has to do with so many aspects like that. That is what it means by nation building. For you to have development, and in fact sustainable development in your policies, that is where you think of nation building. Now, as a Christian or as a Christian youth leader, I ask myself, what role am I supposed to play in the government of Taraba State to ensure that we have development? What are we talking about when we are talking of nation building, when we are talking of governance, when we are talking of this and that? All we are talking about, I understood this to be man management. Okay. It's about human. It's about human. So if we are talking about human, I will bring my talent, you bring your talent, you bring your talent, we put it together, and it is life of the people. And that is why the CAN and the government has to come together to join hands to collaborate for peace and development of the people. Let me use this opportunity to say that in Taraba State, the government of Taraba State has tried and is trying in so many aspects for the ease of life of the people of Taraba State. I know you know that before now, or before the coming of this government, there was no peace in the state.
Definitely.
We barely could not sleep, even in Jalingo as a state capital, not to talk of villages. For those of us that follow the micro activities of the government, I try to understand that the government is trying to lay a very solid foundation for sustainability. Okay. So much so that even after the government, you can have something standing for other government to come and take over, because government is always a continuous process. This many people did not understand, and it is calling for challenges. It is calling for so many comments on the social media and things like that. In as much as the government is trying, maybe with the collaboration of the CAN or any other organ like that, Yes, we cannot deny the fact that there are errors and challenges around. For example, as a youth, I am being biased with the youth, you understand?
Yes.
Yes, as a youth, I know the relative security we have is helping us as youths. I'm aware that the governor has signed a bill for, this anti-trafficking.
Okay.
Before now, you were aware that there was a woman that was caught in this state with so many children trying to take them somewhere for trafficking. That is why we say if you don't have a sustainable plan, you will always fail. Now, for example, in that woman's case, I understood that she was caught with the children and they seized the children from them, and the children were kept somewhere here in Jalingo. Because there is no sustainable plan, it ended up bringing more harm than good, even to the children. I later came to understand that even the children where they were kept without any further plan were impregnating themselves, which is what we even wanted to avoid earlier, because we lack sustainable and future strategies on how to deal with those situations. Recently, just some few days ago, I understand that the governor also signed bill for sport commission and youth commission.
Yes.
Those are beautiful things for us. But then us, as from the Christian aspect, what can we contribute? What can we do to complement this effort of the government? And instead of us to come and be talking against the government, as to me, I will have to rise up. I ask myself as a Christian, for example, if Jesus Christ will come today and see the unfortunate economic situation of my country, what will he do? If Jesus will come and see the rotten system of our judiciary, what will he do? If Jesus will come and see the troubling healthcare system of our nation, what will he do? Will he close himself in the room and be praying and be fasting? No, certainly he will rise up, just like he did when he made them transacting in the temple. He rose up and did something. And that is why we have to rise up again and do something, helping the government. I want to say that, like I said earlier, that government is an integral part of CAN. There's no two ways about that. By the time we say we cannot do without we can do without the government, to me personally, this is my personal idea, it's an error. By the time the government say we don't need CAN, we can do without CAN, I'm sorry, it's still an error. All that is needed is for us to come together to work for the people of Taraba State, if truly we mean development. Therefore, as in the faith aspect and in the government aspect, collaboration is necessary. Collaboration is very necessary.
Thank you very much. That is what I also believe. There must be collaboration between faith-based organizations and government, and also any other organization, and especially the youth. Now I would say, let me ask on a lighter note. I like dropping questions on. Do you lecture?
I am a teacher.
You're a teacher.
But I don't lecture currently, but I am a teacher by profession.
I think if you don't, probably maybe after your doctorate, because you sound more like anyway, you're a teacher. We are losing a lot if you don't lecture in Taraba.
Thank you for the commendation.
I will take it up with you. Even a year, let me give you to the end of the year, and you are not lecturing, because I believe a lot of people will gain a lot from you. Please look into that aspect.
Thank you for the commendation.
I will take it up with you. I'll keep calling on you to do that.
It will be put into consideration by the grace of God.
Okay. Now, let me agree with that for the time being. So now, let's go to how do you think our youth should be involved in politics? You know, generally, a lot of people don't really understand the role of youth in politics. Some feel the role of youth in politics is to be the strong arm of politicians. Some believe everything should be given to the youth. And some believe, okay, you wait for your time. So what exactly is the role of the youth in politics? How do we ensure Not really in when I talk politics, I mean governance.
Yes.
Because the purpose of politics is to govern well.
Yes.
But okay, let me rephrase it. What's the role of youth in governance?
You see, governance generally, like you said, the miscarriage again of our youths about politics and about government is what brought us to this dilemma today. Where you have an impediment in understanding a particular concept, then conceptual clarification is necessary. Otherwise, you will continue to follow in that aspect. Now, let me come back. The role of youth in governance. Another word for youth is maturity.
Okay.
So when we say youth and you understand it that there's a particular time that you need to attend before you do something, is still an error. It is unfortunate that so many of our youth today understood politics to mean being a boy to somebody.
A big man.
To mean being a boy to a godfather. That is not what politics means. Let me give you a practical example. In Taraba State, this is a government, youth-friendly government. So much so that out of the 22 or so commissioners, about 85% of them are youths. Now, the question I ask myself as the leader of youths, what are the contributions of these youth commissioners to ensuring a better governance in Taraba State? For example, in my own profession, I'm a specialist in education. What are those things that you think, maybe as a commissioner or educationist, you are able to put in place to help this government achieve in their objectives in the education sector? Education generally works on 3 pillars for development. Taraba State has declared free and compulsory education. That's already an interest in education.
Yes.
Now, for youth, it's not just about the declaration. That is why I said youth play a vital role. If the governor come and declares, and so what? What follows? If I have been called, for example, today to give my take, if I'm asked that question, what do you think about the free education in Taraba State? I'll say let's work on 3 pillars. Okay. Number 1, manpower. Okay. Number 2, infrastructure. And number 3, monitoring and evaluation. Education also stands on 3 key performance indicators. If an interest is on education, like what the governor of Taraba State has done, I have declared free and compulsory education. Now we are talking of 3 indicators. Access. That means everybody will now come to school. If they come to school, equity. Try and ensure justice and prudence between male and female, boys and girls. Equity. Then we have equality. You understand? This is the 3rd key performance indicator. Now, if you bring them to school, so what? Are you thinking of their retention? What are the strategies you apply to ensure that when they are brought to school, they will stay and learn? Are you thinking of their exit? That is completion. That's what we call completion rate as an indicator. From a cohort to a completion, what is the percentage? It's something to think. It's a project. If you are undergoing a project, you have those variables that you work on. You input. From the input, you are expecting the output. From the output, you are expecting the what? The outcome. From the outcome, you are expecting the impacts. So it's a long-term thing. It's a long-term achievement. So if you fail to do this, and you say, no, we have just declared free education, that is why you see an epileptic free education process. Now, let me come back to we as youth, maybe the commissioners, the members of the executive council, most of them are youth. What have you done as a youth to contribute to this government? Your Excellency, I think we need to do A, B, C like this. If I'm an educationist and this is my interest, it has to be like this, like this, like this, like this. And you are ensuring development. You are ensuring sustainability in that policy. This is the role of a youth. Now the question is, how many of our commissioners are really ready or willing to give this contribution? In fact, how many of them have this already in their mind, in their various places that they are fixed, but various departments and ministries, MDS? If you don't know that, I am sorry, something will go wrong. And as an educationist, I think these factors are what we miss. And that is why the free education policy is where it is today. But like I said, it's not still too late. Yes. We at the CAN, the youth in the secular society, and everybody, we can give our contribution. Opportunities like this, we give our contribution. We give our contribution. I want to believe that even at it, there are remedies. You know that the strike action was not like the way it used to be. It was not as frequent as the way it used to be in the university. Yes. You understand. Recently, I understand that the postgraduate admitted student, in the list of the candidates, over 1,000, I understand that non-indigens are majority in the list. Now, what is the objective of declaration of this free and compulsory education? Is to benefit the state people. Yes. Now, you will see that somebody will come from another state, will come from a CGPA. That is, you want to look at that quality, very good CGPA, and those of Taraba State don't have. Before you know, they are admitted, and those who are supposed to benefit are not there. You see that the whole objective of that is not achieved, is defeated. Therefore, if I will be in that position, when I come to say, yes, for you to be qualified, there are criteria, let down criteria. Yes, I will say, okay, since it is for Taraba, for government, maybe as a commissioner of education, I will say indigenous letters is one of the things you present. That is, priority is given to the state people because it's the state declaration, it's a state policy. So the state people are supposed to benefit from that. Those are the things that we need to really contribute to develop the government, to ensure that the government, not criticism. Not criticism. Of course, no leader is a saint. No leader is a prophet. At the same time, that does not mean we cannot challenge them. If the governor does what is wrong, we will say, Your Excellency, with due respect, this is not how we are supposed to do this. But like we said, those that want to be politicians by force will come and they see it black and they will call it white simply because they want to achieve their personal interest. I think time has come for the youth of Taraba State to understand this. If the more we understand this, the better our state will grow. This is what we need to understand.
Wow, thank you very much. I think you've just hit a part of the interview that I want us to go deep into. And the way you started it, I know we are in for something that will develop our capacity in the area of education. So at this point, I will want us to go for a break. Just like I told you, he's sounding more, he's a teacher. So he's lecturing us and he's teaching us. So if you are to get your pen, get your paper or your tabs or anything, and get ready because now he is going to be coming to impact us on how we can develop. I want us to go to the education sector. You are an administrator. And the way you started it, I want you to build on that discussion. So we'll go for a short break now.
Thank you.
And when we come back, Mr. Julius Saleh will be here to expand our discussion. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Wukari, rising from the ruined. A town with rich cultural and great historical heritage, being one of the major routes of the Sahara trade from Africa to Europe. It serves as the headquarters of the famous Kwararafa Kingdom and later the administrative capital of the Wukari Federation during the colonial era, giving it the advantage of becoming one of the most advanced cities in Nigeria with one of the best architectural master plans, modern infrastructure and basic amenities, schools and hospitals. Though battered by the storms of conflicts and crisis for the past decade, it still retains the evidence of potential as seen by the structures of old institutions like the Divisional Library Service Wukari, established in 1975, the Water Board, the Telecommunications Mast of Nitel, Taraba State Radio Broadcasting Station and substation of the NTA, among many other government establishments. Far from being just a government city, Wukari was a center of great commercial activities and still serves as a major hub for the production and distribution of food and other agricultural products, not only in Nigeria, but across Africa and beyond. Today, there are signs of restoration across the land as witnessed by establishments of key developmental institutions like the Federal University Wukari, Kwararafa University, Open University, and many more in the making. The Federal University Teaching Hospital also opened as a fresh corridor of the improvement of health sciences and services available for people in this region. With the return of peace and security, all is now set for Wukari to ascend to its destined heights of being a true channel of cultural, commercial blessings and the leading light of positive, productive, and progressive civilization to indigenous people of the world. This can be achieved by unleashing the creative potential of the young generation, giving them the necessary platforms to create narrative that represents the true value and excellent moral quality of the Kwararafa clan, which is in dire need in today's world of rampant criminality, substance abuse, and other wasteful vices among the young population. So it's safe to say that resurrection of Wukari is for the redemption of its generation that is at the verge of destruction due to the scourge of corruption. And this is being championed by His Excellency Honorable Agbu Dauda Samaila, the chairman Wukari local government with the support of paramount leader of Kwararafa Kingdom and chairman Taraba State Council of Chief, His Royal Highness Dr. Ishaku Ada Ali, the Amataki train of Wukari. We're moving forward to greater heights according to the vision of His Excellency Dr. Agbu Kefas, the Executive Governor of Taraba State.
Okay, welcome back to today's Politics on Some TV. I am C. Abraham Judah, and we have been having a conversation that sits at the very heart of Taraba's future. That is faith, youth, education, and it's the dialogue on leadership, on education and nation building. And just like we know, our guest is the man who wears many hats. He's an educationist, a seasoned administrator, a civil servant, and a chairman of the youth wing of the Christian Association of Nigeria here in Taraba State. He is no other person than Mr. Job Julius Saleh. Good evening.
Good evening once more. Thank you.
Yes, we're really happy to have you on this show, and you've been adding value to what to the discussion. And just like I said earlier, the late Chinua Achebe once said, the trouble with Nigeria is simply and squarely a failure of leadership. But the hope of Nigeria lies in new generation of leaders like yourself, and leaders grounded in faith, sharpened by education and driven by vision. So let me use this to draft a question. Taraba State education policy, very good, free education, and you've broken it down into the objectives we should be looking at, and what we should expect, the outcome, the output, and the rest. Now, if you are to critically look at that policy, what do you think can be done further to ensure that this policy doesn't just come and go? You know, there's a thing with policy in Nigeria, we don't, there are good policies, but the implementation. How do we implement this policy so that in the next 10, 20 years, Taraba should no longer be an educationally backward state?
Yeah, if you have listened to me in our conversation, I have used a particular word consistently. That is strategy, a sustainability strategy. Sustainability strategy. In a project or program like the free education policy, an enhanced mechanism to sustain that program should be a plan of itself. Otherwise, I don't think I have apology for this. I will say that the way we are going with the free education policy, immediately after this government, and that is how it will end. And I believe by the time our children are educated, by the time they have that solid foundation, then any other thing will be eased. Why do we have Togri today? It's lack of education. Why do we have banditry? It's lack of education. Why do we have misunderstanding when it comes to, if you go to this political space, you will see some political war that is not supposed to be there. It's simply ignorance. But when you are grounded in education, in fact, you will have that techniques on how you will manage these things. Now, coming back to the policy of education in Taraba State, like I said, policies like this always lies on 3 pillars. By the time, if you say free education, and I said the variable of access, people are back to school. How do you think of the infrastructure? Now, maybe if school A, children are 20 today, because of the free education policy, they are now 40. That affects the teacher. That affects the facility in the school. So how are you working on the infrastructure? Today we are in a digital world. In fact, we are in an artificial intelligence world. There are contemporary applications you can apply to monitor this, and you have it very easy. I'm the director of ICT in my place of work. We design so many applications to track our people. Today, if you go to advanced places, they don't longer do roll calls. ABC, Job, Julius, Ale, present. This, we don't do it any longer. You'll be sitting in the comfort of your office and you will know what is happening in school A, school B. This is where we have gone today. But if we say we have a policy like this and this is not taking place, then we still have a long way to go. If we say we have a policy like this, then we still have schools where there are no buildings at all. We still have a long way to go. If you have a policy like this, you know, in the medical sector, the success and failure of delivery in the labor room lies in the hand of the midwife. Scientifically, you understand? That is why if a woman gives birth, they will ask the mother to eat this, eat egg, drink milk, so that she will enrich her breast, the milk in the breast, for the child to be okay. Why is it that you are not giving it to the child direct? Because you know it has to come through the mother. It's the same thing in education. If you say you have declared free education and the teachers are not contemporary, they are still having their traditional way of knowledge. There's not any capacity building. There's not any enhanced training. When you say that, first of all, you will need psychosocial support for the teachers. You do what we call, you brainwash them to be contemporary, to be up to date. You bring current and standard pedagogical skills to them. That is the profession of teaching. Failure to do that, you don't expect the teacher to play magic. Yeah, the students have come back to school and there's no teacher to help them. The teacher is there, he doesn't know what he will do. So these are the things that we need to look at if we really want education to develop in Taraba State. These things I have mentioned are all lacking in this situation. So pronouncement of free education is not just enough. We need to do these things. If you go to other states, I know especially in the north, where we have training. I went for a study tour in Kigali. I saw what baffled me. Kigali today have a bank for teachers. Wow. Bank specifically for teachers. They have what they call smart classes, where children does not use pen and paper. You understand? When did Rwanda come out from their genocide? Just 1994. Yeah. What is the population of Rwanda? They are not up to 50 million up to date. If you go to Kigali today, you cannot find a polythene leather on the ground. The city is as clean, as calm as any other thing. Many people go for study tour. If Rwanda would do that, what will stop Nigeria from doing? And that is why I say, where you have leaders that are not educated but only schooled, we are at the receiving end of all these vices I have mentioned. That is why it's necessary for us. So for us to get it right, it is not still too late for the government of Taraba. So let us come back to the drawing board. Bring those that you think. Please go and sit down, talk, and bring out resolutions on how this free education policy will be strong and be sustained. Create mechanisms for us. Give us your talent, and let's see how it will help us. Then, before you know it, we are somewhere. I'm assuring you, once we get this particular sector right, the education sector, any other sector will be balanced. Any other sector will be balanced.
Okay, I think I agree with you. Now, going to that, how do you think education and youth development can work hand in hand? You said it will balance to reduce poverty and unemployment.
Yes.
Go to the practicals. Maybe for those who may not know, who think that maybe education is just for you to read and write, and they will say you're a student.
Skills is the order of the day, even in education. If you go to school and you say, I have finished my school, I'm a graduate, and all you think is government work, then you have a long way to go. Writing and reading. Let me tell you something. English language is not a criteria to record as mark of intelligence. If English language were a mark of intelligence, the German would have been the most unfortunate. The Japans would have been most unfortunate. The French would have been most unfortunate because they don't speak English. So English language is not a mark of intelligence at all. By the time you are able to bring skills into whatever you are doing, that's why in our new curriculums now, you see skill acquisition programs where you are able to do something after gaining the education. You have an idea of what you can use your ability to do. That's why in education we have 3 domains. It's unfortunate in our area we only deal with the cognitive. We have the affective, we have the psychomotor. Your ability to do something, there are so many talents endowed in us. If you are able to pick one and use, then automatically you are there. I am not a computer literate by profession. I'm a computer literate by interest. I learned computer in the market, this Ningel. Yeah. I learned computer 8,000 naira. I paid to have diploma in computer. That has taken me to the level of director ICT today. Because of the computer I learned, it has helped me to work in so many places. I work with the UNICEF, I work with the World Bank. I have been to like 10 countries in the world. But there are so many people that read computer science today that cannot do what we are doing on the computers. Yeah. That to tell you that once you put your interest and you have that skill, apart from your own school certificates, that is a big strategy. That's a big way to divert and to do the right thing. I'm sorry to say that there are people today, if not government work, they will remain with their certificate until they die. Yeah. It's unfortunate. I like the way the government of Taraba said is bringing some skills. There's this BRICS They are training youth and children, you understand? Now, the youths have to understand this. My father used to say that one of his legs is in the grave, the other one is outside. Sometimes he tells me that he has already gotten his boarding pass. So he's indirectly telling me that his quarter to go. He was a goner until he gone. Until he's gone, truly. Now, what is that telling me? That as a youth, he has finished his own. I am supposed to rise up now and do the right thing. Let me observe. Let me look at it. If I look at it, let me think on how I will apply my own, and it will bring development. But it's unfortunate, many of our youth will tell you that they don't have work. They don't have work. You don't wait for the government again. Rise up and do something. Now, by the time you rise up and do something, and the government did not do something, that is why some of us that are leaders will rise up to do it. To say, government, we have risen up to do ABC. You are supposed to complement with ECD. Do you understand? And that collaboration, development has come. So that is where the government and the youths will have to come in order to make. If not, why we are suffering today is because we have failed to do all these things. Yes. And it is bringing issues. We are suffering currently with what I call socioeconomic inequalities. You understand? You hardly see people eating 3 square meals. A house where you are supposed to be comfortable with your wife and children, you have other relatives. It's necessary you must be with them. It's socioeconomic inequality. It's not good for us. And because we have failed to do so many things. And that is where we are today. So I think let me use this opportunity to make a clarion call, especially to the youth. There's this saying that I always refuse to agree with, that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Yeah, it's an English language. But Hausa man says, a Good Friday is seen from Wednesday. So let us start something now, so that when our tomorrow comes, we're sure that the tomorrow will be a good one. That is a clarion call to the youth. And let me also call to the government. Demographically, the youth constitutes a greater percentage, you understand, of the population in Nigeria and in Taraba, anywhere. Now, if the government neglects youths completely, and those of us that are leaders today, for example, I'm the chairman of Youth Wing in Cannes, all I need is mobilization of my youth. And let us, it's a game of give and take. Tell us your policy, tell us what you have for us, then we will see whether we will follow you or we will support you or not. Give us what is supposed to be our own, we give you what is supposed to be our own for the benefit of our people, not for our own interest. This is where a youth is supposed to be placed. This is where a youth is supposed to be standing, an average youth. Not that I will go to my oga that is a politician. You have to tell me what to do, you have to do this. Yeah, the respect is there, but if you fail to bring anything from your head, I am telling you, posterity will owe you the fault of representation. Definitely. You understand? Even when you are not alive, that you have failed to represent them, what posterity will record that fact.
Thank you very much. Mr. Saleh, you've really done justice to this. And that is why you say it's not about school, it's about education. A lot of people, you said something, there are a lot of people that today take away government work. They wouldn't fit into anywhere. But that is because they only have certification without education. Now, looking ahead, if we are to project into the next decade, where exactly do you envision Taraba to be in the next 10 years?
Taraba State, as a government today, is trying, though with so many weaknesses. From the micro policies I'm seeing of this government, the future is bright. But if you fail to put in something on something, then you will get the entire thing wrong. It's just like a building. The process of building, you dig what do you call the foundation? You do the foundation, you build, you create window, you do what they call lintel until you reach roofing. If you miss one of these steps, your building is bound to have a problem. And that is where I see the government of Taraba State going. The government is trying, bringing international partners, you understand, creating sustainable activities. But if you fail to do something small, it will spoil the entire thing. Let me give you a beautiful example. The government of Taraba State has done very well to explore Taraba State to the international world during the Taravest. You understand? The government of Taraba State has done very well to calm security situation in the state. The government of Taraba State has done very well to have pronounced this free education. I pay 20-something thousand as a PhD student in the university. It's more or less a free thing. You understand? But then, what would it take you, for example, to just do something about Namnai Bridge that reached to the extent of killing people? That's what you will do to me today. Your statement, your comment will make me forgive. That's what you will do to me today. Your countenance alone will make me keep you in mind forever. The first 3 people that died in Namnai Bridge, the other one, the island, was pregnant.
Yes.
The other one was a young person. The other one was a mother of 2. Now, do you think their family can forget this scenario? What does it take just to do something, whatever it is? It could be military breach, it could be anything, but not what is happening there. And that alone, you know, will spoil many things. What does it take for a Taraba State government to just bring what they call this, there's a particular machine that people die a lot in the hospital because of lack of that machine, CT scanning.
Okay, yeah.
What does it take? How much is this CT scanning machine that someone has to be taken to Yola or Gombe or Jos and die on the way? These are simple things we can do. You understand? But if we fail to do this, before you know, it is drawing us back instead of taking us forward. Like I said, I love the plans that this government has. But it's just that an ordinary man, let me use that language, an ordinary man might not understand that. An ordinary man would like to see something, you understand, while you keep on doing this. It's just like a blind man. When you hold a stick directing him, he may think you are not following the right path. But by the time he arrives and sits down, he will now know that, yes, that hurdle you are having was to bring him to this destination. This is the weakness I'm talking about. Otherwise, I see Taraba State going well. And like I said, how many of our commissioners have come to a platform like this to tell the world that as a commissioner minister of ABC, this is what I have done, this is what I'm planning to do, just to convince people, just to bring some relief of sigh in the hearts of people. It's very, very important. So these are just the little things I think that is drawing us backward. Otherwise, we have a very beautiful future. If the government will say, okay, you bring your talent, let's go together, let's move. Before you know, we are somewhere. I'm still optimistic that Taraba State will be better than what it is. In the next 10 years, we should be taking off models by the grace of God. With the university in Jembu, with the greenhouse. Do you know that people come from just now to pick cucumbers and Taraba and tomatoes from Jalingo here? Just it used to be known for cucumber.
Yes.
But today they are coming because of the quality. Not that the cucumber is not there, but because of the quality we have. We want a situation where people will come to Taraba State University for study tour. We want a situation where people will come to specialist hospital, you understand, for study tour, for referrals. Yes. Not us taking people. This is where we want to come to. So this is what I think the government has to look and balance. And we, as youth especially, we have to key in. We have to key in. We should be able to tell the truth, as bitter as it may be. I will not come to this platform maybe because I'm afraid of the government. I'm afraid they will send me away from my work and I will not tell the truth. No, I will not do that. As a Christian and as a young person with a very bright future, I'm very comfortable. If I fail to tell the truth now, then posterity will not judge me well with the number of people I represent in the state. I should be able to say, this is the right thing, this is the right way to follow. I should be able to be seen as an example to this also. So So this is where I think we need to work. By the time we work this out, I'm telling you, the sky is the beginning of the limit for Taraba State.
Thank you very much, Mr. Job Julius Saleh, for this contribution, for what you brought to today's politics today. And I believe a lot of people will be wondering, you are from Lao local government?
Yes, I'm from Lao.
When I said in the next decade, where do you intend to see Taraba, I was expecting to see you intend to see Taraba, where you'll be the governor of Taraba State. So politically, because in all this, the best way, the easiest way to bring, get these things done is if you are in the position of power to do it. Just the way you looked at your weekend, I looked at it that if I'm chairman, I'll be able to bring forth policies and push it. So politically, where will we see you in the nearest future, from the local government to the state to the nation?
Yeah, in my introduction, I told you I am a civil servant.
That's right.
But let me tell you this, I'm an heir to politics. I'm an heir. I am from Lao local government, a Winlao man by tribe, from the Kwarafa extraction of the Jukun race. Anybody that knows my father or my family very well, my father was a politician, a very strong one. You cannot mention Lao as a town without the mention of my father's name. That's why I said I am an heir already. So if I tell you I'm a politician, I'm right. If I tell you I'm a civil servant, I'm also right. But this question you asked me, this is a question some politicians don't want to hear. Maybe I tell you I have political ambition, I have this, I have that. I will not say that now, but what I am saying is that the representation of our people is our responsibility. We owe our people the responsibility of true representation, whether in politics or in any capacity we find ourselves. I am a leader today in the church.
Okay.
I'm a leader today in my community. I'm a leader today in my place of work. I think my deliveries will qualify me for further leadership positions. If today my people find me worthy to say, we want you to go and represent us, like I used to say, if my people will say, okay, come and contribute in this quarter, if the government will say, why not? It's our state. In fact, if you didn't say it because of your selfish interest, we will rise up to collect it.
Yeah, I like that.
You understand? Martin Luther King says something, that there is no oppressor that will like to give people what is their own. That thing must be demanded by the oppressed. That's Martin Luther King. So where we see injustice, where we see we need to rise up and collect that which is ours, we will do it. That is politics already, you understand? That is politics already. So I will not say I am doing this, I'm doing that, but I want to believe future will take care of itself. Time will take care of itself. When the time comes, like I said, I am from the royal house. We have a small kingship position in my village. As small as that, if my people ask me to go back to the village and take care of the people like that, I will go. I will go. If it is for my people, I will go. Currently, I'm doing my mobilization in the state. When I came to the Yowikang, like I told you earlier, there were so many issues. People have different understanding about Yowikang. And I always tell my people that the public space is right to say what they are saying about the Khan. It is us that come now to redefine it. It is us that come now to disprove that allegations. And that is what I'm doing. I'm mobilizing my people at the local government level, at the zonal level, at the unit level. When the time comes, I should be able to have something to fight. If you are for good, I have my people, all of us will go and support you so that together we will raise our state. If you say no to good, we are rising up with our people to say no to you, and we bring that person which we believe will help us. It's just about that. Without fear, without favor, without any sentiment, the right thing is what is ought to be done. And I think this is where what I will say for now when it comes to future things like that.
Thank you very much. Well, we've had a wonderful time together having the discussion, and our viewers out there definitely will also we agree with me. Let me just take one or two contributions on our Facebook page. You say, well, let me start from, okay, Mr. Silas said, I love the calmness and composure of our neighbor Yorukan chairman. That is from Mr. Silas on Facebook. And Sabo B. Emmanuel says, my chairman, oneness in Christ, Yorukan, keep great and maintain greatness. That is from Sabo B. Emmanuel. Then Riemann Imam Maman say, from the issue of securities, I'm sorry, that isn't true. Please, just as you said, better we tell ourselves the truth. We are facing a lot of insecurities here in Takon. Okay, that is from Riemann Imam Maman. I think if you listen to our guest, he's saying, yes, there's room for improvement.
Yeah.
But we all agree that there's security now in Taraba compared to what it used to be. So those are the contributions so far. Time is not on our side. So I'll take this in a minute. What's your final words to the youth, to the Christian body, and also to the government?
Let me first of all say thank you to our followers for their comments. That is why we have to do what we are doing. If somebody, the last person said, no, we have issues in security, yes. As a leader, I will not tell him no. That's why I said the governor is not a saint. The governor is not a prophet. But I have said we have relative peace. It has reduced to some extent compared with then. That means more needs to be done. Let me also say that I want to believe most of these people that made this comment are our fellow youths. Yes. I want to call on them and any other youths, the Christian youth and by extension the Muslim youths of Taraba State. By the time we shun sentimentality, by the time we throw away selfish interest, by the time we stand for the truth, then any other thing will be balanced. But as a youth, when you come and say, I must be the one, it must be me, it must be this my Oga, otherwise it is dead. I am sorry, you are already killing your generation. The youth suffers when it comes to suffering. When it comes to war, it is the youth. Yes. When it comes to unemployment, it is the youth. When it comes to whatever negative tendency, it is always the youth. If you go to our prisons and correctional centers, police stations, you see it is the youths that are piled there. If you stand on the road, if you see what our girls are doing, it's unfortunate. These are the things we are doing now to see how we can curtail that. By the grace of God, we will do it. So I'm calling on all the youth of Taraba State to join hands and support to be able to grow. The support is not by anything. Please say it as it is. Say the truth. Stand for the truth is a support. Pray for this body and let us continue to grow together. You should be able to tell whoever, including the governor, is the highest person in Taraba State, the truth when it comes to the truth. This is my clarion call to all the youth of Taraba State and to our politicians, especially the youth politicians. Politics is about representation. It's about good governance. I call on our young politicians to please rise up to this challenge. Let it not be what we are hearing. Commissioner, this is drinking beer here. Commissioner, this is doing this. Commissioner, this is beating this one. Commissioner, these are wrong things that we are not supposed to hear. So please, I want to call on them to represent us well. And we are open for any support. Anything that is for good. Anything that is for development of Taraba State. Your Yorukan Taraba State is very open to embrace everybody for this development. This is my call, and it is my prayer that God will help us. Come 10 years, like you said, Taraba State will be a different place to be by the grace of God.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, amen. Thank you very much for this wonderful presentation you've done so far today, and I really appreciate it. The only area we have issues in, maybe in the next few months, you're not yet a lecturer, that I said, because honestly, that is a very good, that is an area you should look into, so that you can also help the young ones to tap from your wealth of knowledge. So thank you very much. Let me check.
Thank you very much. I have the pleasure for everything. And like I said, I'm considering that. I'm a teacher already, just that I am not in the classroom now. And I assure you I may end up in the classroom. with this recommendation.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
So,
thank you.
As we round up this insightful conversation on faith, youth, and the future of Taraba, one truth stands clear. The destiny of our state and indeed our nation will be shaped not by promises of yesterday, but by the actions of today. Our former President Umaru Yar'Adua once reminded us that the future belongs to the young people of this country. The future is not distant. It begins now with faith as our compass, education as our tool, and leadership as our duty. Mr. Job Julius Saleh has said it all. So as a young person, in politics, out of politics, in faith, as a student, I think you need to look at yourself and say, what value am I adding to society? So on behalf of the Sun TV team, I would like to thank everyone that has been part of this production, the studio manager, Mr. The PRO of Lasandi Youth, Mr. God Gift, or no, Dominion Planner. Your name almost escaped my mind. It's the studio manager on duty for today. We also have the master control operator, the son of a prophet, like we call him, Meshach Lazarus, and don't forget our social media manager, Mr. Silas God Gift Walu, and also the director of news, Mr. Ira Daniel Kukwen, and every other person, the assistant director of news programs and public affairs, who have been running around to ensure that this program goes on well. So thank you very much. A wonderful guest.
Yeah, it's my pleasure once more. Thank you for having me.
We look forward to seeing you again on this platform.
Always open.
Okay.
Thank you.
So on behalf of Sun TV, I am Abraham Manajoda. Thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep believing, keep building, and keep shaping the Taraba of tomorrow.